iHeartRadio app.
Hard rock style is coming to the Central Valley. Just 15 miles south of Bakersfield off Route 99. You'll find world-class gaming and entertainment. Less drive time equals more playtime. The all-new Hard Rock Casino Tejon, opening November 13th.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a rough night Wednesday for both of LA's NBA teams. The Lakers were in Oklahoma City and got crushed. The defending NBA champs beat the Lakers by 29, 121-92. 30 points and 9 assists for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Lakers had 20 turnovers. At the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic scored 25 points in the first quarter against the Clippers en route to a 55-point performance. The Clippers have lost 6 straight after going down 130-116. LeBron practiced for the first time this season on Wednesday. He participates Lakers. LeBron has been sidelined with a sciatic nerve condition in his lower back and left leg. The Lakers are planning to give him some playing time on Sunday in South Bay's next game against the Rip City Remix, the Portland Trail Blazers G League affiliate. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580, standing with you in perilous times. If you've been impacted by the federal government shutdown or the discontinuation of SNAP benefits, you can find a food bank near you that's offering free groceries by going to lafoodbank.org or call 211. Additionally, LA County offers free meals at certain parks. There are meals and snacks for kids and seniors. Visit parks.lacounty.gov to find out which centers are offering which programs and to register in advance. And in addition to offering 2 free meals per day for all students, the LA Unified School District provides weekend meal kits for its students by request. The meal kits can be picked up on Fridays at grab-and-go locations. Please visit lausd.org/Cafe LA. That's lausd.org/CAFELA. We keep us safe. We keep us provided for. We keep us connected. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
That song, LTD, Jeffrey Osborne, is appropriate for a lot of different reasons. I'm not sure what Doc's thinking is. He's going to tell you about 10 seconds when I shut up. But that's what I feel like today. I'm holding on, just trying to navigate. I said earlier, I feel like I'm in a bouncy house at a kid's birthday party, bouncing from this topic to that topic. I feel like a pinball machine up in here today. So much going on. Dr. West, you holding on, man? You holding on?
Oh, man, I was talking to my dear brother Miles, and we thank him for the music. He said, how you feeling? I said, I'm just holding on. And he started singing the song. I said, that's the song we're going to play today. That's the song we're going to play today, though, brother. We're going with Jeffrey Osborne out of Providence and LTD.
That's it. That's
Lord, have mercy.
Turn it up, Miles. Turn it up right quick. Turn it up right quick. Hold on, Doc. Let's hear some more of this. Yeah. See, that lyric is cold, Doc. Holding on, but it's hard to do when love is gone.
When love is gone. But thank God we still got the love, you know. My beloved wife, Anna Heath, is real. And of
But Dr. West has 2 children, a son and a daughter. His daughter, Zaytune, the youngest, is absolutely brilliant. They say the apple don't fall far from the tree. Now, Dr. West will tell you, when I shut up, I'm sure he will, that Zaytune is so much farther along than he was when he was Zaytune's age. That's Dr. West's words, not mine, that Zaytune is farther along than he was at her age. But she's absolutely brilliant and extremely young. But the PhD he's referencing is from Princeton, no less. So she's wrapping up her PhD at Princeton. And what is the PhD in, Doc?
In German, brother. In German. Lord. Got a summa cum laude undergrad from Princeton in Korean.
Yeah.
And now a PhD in German, finishing up her thesis. So, I count my blessings. But it's true for my beloved son, too, Cliff.
Yes.
I count my blessings for both of them. They got the magnificent lives to live. You pour all the love you can in them. And you always tell them, it ain't the title, it ain't the PhD, it's what kind of human being you're going to be and how are you going to help somebody on the way. Yeah. That's the crucial question. And that's what I'm proud of both of them in that sense of, though, really. Yeah. But that still means we holding on because, brother, in this world today, we in a whirlwind, man.
You say that again. So congrats to Zaytune. She finished the coursework for her PhD. And the
exams. And the
exams.
2 exams at the public lecture for the proposal for the PhD.
So it's just the writing now. It's just the writing.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Zaytune, Zaytune's she's bad. She's a bad girl, and I'm glad to hear that she's through that phase.
Very kind.
No, I mean that, man.
Kind.
I mean that.
So kind,
you mentioned a whirlwind. It is a whirlwind. I want to get to Larry Summers, as I said earlier the first time, in case you just tuned in. Some of y'all recall this. Dr. West was at Harvard. He was educated there, of course. Zaytune's doing the Princeton thing. Dr. West did the Harvard thing. They got the Ivy League covered. And Larry Summers said some things that were not so kind about Dr. West publicly. When we come forward, I'll let Dr. West remind us of what Summers said about him and the way he responded. But I recall very vividly and very clearly, Dr. West called Larry Summers then a bull in a china shop. And he left Harvard in protest over the way that Larry Summers had maltreated him. It was a principled position, as is most everything else Dr. West does. But he left Harvard, and now Larry Summers found himself in some hot water. I read in the first hour some of these sick text exchanges, these email exchanges, rather, with Jeffrey Epstein, talking about women and the other. It's just, it gave me, it just kind of makes you feel dirty to read it. But it's all in the media now. Larry Summers got some splaining to do. He's got some splaining to do. And speaking of splaining, Kamala Harris tried to splain in Seattle the other day what they should have done, could have done, ought have done on Israel and Gaza, but she just got there a couple years too late. Tell that to the tens of thousands of folks who are dead, that you finally got a revelation. You finally got the revelation, but it ain't bringing nobody back from the dead. When we come forward, if you haven't heard what Kamala had to say, I'm going to play you Kamala's clip. From Seattle, and we'll get into on Smiley and West.
From California to the Carolinas. Everybody's listening to Tavis. More when we come forward.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yay, yay!
Hey, KBLA 1580 delegation, your health matters to us. We know that information is power, especially when it comes to prevention and treatment. That's why we're proud to introduce the brand new KBLA Health and Wellness Hub. This online space is built just for you, connecting our community to trusted health resources, culturally relevant care, and even access to diverse clinical trials and emerging therapies. Whether you're looking for information on common conditions, mental health support, or just want to stay on top of your wellness journey, we got you. And the best part, it's all on our website at kbla1580.com. Accessible, empowering, community-focused. So just go to kbla1580.com and click on the Health and Wellness Hub icon, because knowledge is power and your health is everything. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
More honesty than you can handle. More empowerment than you can imagine. You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
All right, two major figures in the news today. Dr. West has been connected to both, one directly, the other indirectly, more tangentially, if I can say the word. Let's start with the tangential connection to Kamala Harris. Dr. West ran for president, as you know, in the last election cycle as an independent. And all throughout the campaign. If he said it once, the Biden-Harris administration attempting to hold them accountable on this particular issue. And then just a couple of days ago, Kamala Harris shows up in Seattle on her book tour, and a few years late, but here's what she had to say.
We should have spoken publicly about our criticism of the way that Netanyahu and his government were executing this war. We should have done more as an administration. We had more levers in terms of leverage that we did not use. And I write about this in the book. I look at this moment and I am happy that there is a ceasefire. We will see how long it lasts, that the hostages have been returned. But let's be very clear. Inhuman nature of what has happened to the Palestinian people in Gaza, the innocent civilians, the extent of hunger, famine, suffering, death, is something that we must acknowledge. And I recognize that.
I recognize that now. I ain't got nothing to say, Doc. Actually, I do, but I'm gonna stand down and let you have it. The microphone's all yours, sir.
Brother, I'm just trying to hold on to my Holy Ghost, man, because the level of fakery and funniness, the playing with people's lives. She and the Democratic Party wouldn't even allow a Palestinian voice who supported her on the stage of the Democratic National Convention, but she could have Dick Cheney and Lynn Cheney. She knew those children were being killed. She knew those innocent civilians were being wiped out. She knew that all the universities were abolished. She knew that 85% of the hospitals were gone. She wouldn't say a mumbling word. And now, a year after she runs, she going to present that. It's nothing but just pathetic fakery, though, brother. Just saying anything don't mean what you say. It's just to me, it's despicable, and just in terms of lack of character. And then she expects people for us to believe it. Truth is not the kind of thing you just toy with. Human suffering is not the kind of thing you just play with. These are actual human beings made in the image of the same God that made her. So she ought to be shame on herself to be using this kind of language now as if somehow after she's no longer in power, after she no longer is heeding the voices of Palestinians, after she sponsors and authorizes the genocide alongside Gangsta Biden, and going to come back and say, now, we had a whole host of leverages and we should have used them. Oh, please, come on now, man. Lord have mercy. It's, I mean, you know, it's and he just says in the message to me, too little, too late, and I would say too phony.
There's a sense in which, well, let me rephrase that. Not a sense in which the data is incontrovertible in this regard. So it's not a sense. Again, the data is incontrovertible. The American public is shifting on this and has been for some years now. City telling his truth about the genocide in Gaza, and yet he won anyway in a city that's full of Jewish brothers and sisters. He pulled this off, many of them supporting Mandami in this particular race. There's a sense in which, since I can come back to that phrase now, there's a sense in which she sort of put her finger up in the wind and saw the way the winds were blowing. And so some of it is, now that she's out of office a year later, she can say this, but some of it is almost as if the notion that she's advancing of what they should have done and could have done, she sort of poll tested it, and it plays well now. That ties into your point about the phoniness, but what's your sense of the fact that she's saying this now?
That's basically what it is, though, brother. You have politicians, and they come from all parties, who are cheaply thermometers rather than costly thermostats. And the thermometer is just going to check and see what the climate is and reflect it. Don't speak out of conviction. Don't speak from your heart and soul. The thermostat is going to shape the climate of opinion. It's going to speak their minds. That's the difference between a voice and an echo. She's been an echo for most of her political career for upward mobility, going all the way to the top. But Sister Harris, where's your voice? You come from a people that say lift every voice, not lift every echo. What do you deeply, deeply, deeply believe? Well, we don't even know, because now the climate has shifted. She's just another thermometer again. She's just reflecting it. Now, it's true, people can change their minds. Brother Coach, for example. You know, Coach changed his mind. You know, he succumbed and he was captive to the invisibility of Palestinian humanity. He's attacking persons like myself and others, the black public intellectuals who talk about Israel and don't know what they talk about. That's what he said in this text.
Ta-Nehisi, Coach. Yeah, go ahead.
Brother Ta-Nehisi, Coach, but he changed his mind. I think his change is actually real and authentic because he went there to see it for himself. He just benefited from 15 years of being with an apartheid magazine like the Republic and Atlantic magazine, you know, who supported apartheid Israel, you know, and Jeffrey Goldberg himself. We've talked about this. Yes. Remember the IDF himself, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So and that's his mentor. So you got a right to choose that. I think his change is for real. I don't think Sister Harris's change is that deep or for real. I could be wrong. I just don't think so. But the sad thing is that people are still suffering.
Yeah.
The West Bank is still undergoing land dispossession. You know, the new film, No Other Land.
Yeah.
Just won the Oscar. Couldn't get distribution. Finally, it has distribution now. Thank God Almighty. And I saw the other day. It's a powerful, powerful film. Very powerful film. So in that sense, you know, Sister Harris, I think it's just time to go on and just relax and live your luxurious life and quit exposing yourself, because it becomes more and more sad. It does. It really does.
You can take the Kingian formulation of the thermostat versus the thermometer, or you can take the Westian formulation of voices authentic voices versus echoes. Either
Oh, she ain't running free. She running scared still. She's checking and see what other people got to say. She's checking what the polls say. She's checking where she thinks is moving in terms of 2028. Please spare us. Spare us.
You put me in the company with West or King. I'm happy, so I'll take that, Doc. I'll take being in that company. But when I heard that clip, the first thing I thought about, I tell you, Doc, the first thing that came to my mind was Kamala Harris. Everybody knows this. This clip ran everywhere. You were running against her. You were in the field at this point. But everybody recalls that time she was on the View television program. And she said, when asked where she differed with Biden, she pauses and she says, I can't think of anything on which I disagree with Joe Biden. I can't think of nothing.
That's true.
I can't think of a single thing on which I disagree with Joe Biden. Now, one could say that that's deference to the guy who was her boss. But on the other hand, you running for president. He passed you the baton. Joe Biden ain't stuck on stupid. He knows that you got to run for president and you got to establish yourself. So I have always maintained that Kamala had more space. She had more room than she thought she had or wanted to accept to speak her own truth. And that's what I mean by running scared or running free. You got the baton now. So just speak your truth. But she says in that interview, I can't think of nothing, not a single thing on which I would disagree or differ with Joe Biden. And now you come out a year later and you got a whole book, you got a whole thesis about what y'all should have done, but then you couldn't think of a single thing that you disagreed on, Doc. You remember that interview?
Oh, I do. But see, this is the problem, not just with her, but with so many politicians, man. You can't believe what they're saying at the moment because they're not speaking from their heart and mind. They're not saying what they mean and mean what they say. They're just saying what they think is going to get them over.
Yeah.
So there's no character there. There's no there. There's no substance there. It's all superficial, deodorized utterance rather than speaking from their hearts, minds, and souls.
Yeah. I got 5 minutes left here. I want to pivot. I mentioned there are two notable Americans, well-known Americans in the news today, and Doc has relationships with both, connections to both. There's the Kamala Harris commentary. Now I want to pivot to Larry Summers. As I mentioned earlier, Dr. West was at Harvard for many years. He's educated, of course, at Harvard. And Larry Summers is president. Dr. West is still teaching there, and all hell sort of breaks loose. Dr. West goes in on Larry Summers publicly, calls him a bull in a china shop, leaves Harvard, and Dr. West and I are both we are both followers of that first century Palestinian Jew named Jesus. We're both Christians. And the Bible that we read says, revenge is mine, vengeance is mine, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. So this ain't about revenge. It ain't about vengeance. But Malcolm was right. The chickens do come home at some point to roost. And I'm just wondering how in this moment you're processing the exposed Larry Summers vis-a-vis all these emails back and forth with Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, in that sense, Brother Summers has been very consistent. Just like Trump himself is a neo-fascist gangster, Summers is a gangster. He's been consistent. When he called me in that room in 2001, I said, I don't give a goddamn. I love my brothers and sisters in the hip-hop community. If I was working with the ballet company, you wouldn't say a mumbling word.
Mm.
And so he's coming at me tooth and nail, and I had to look him in his eye and say, I am the man you think you are. I'm as much Harvard as you are. And lucky I didn't lose my Holy Ghost and not slap him upside the head, literally and rhetorically. But he knew how intense it was. And I knew when I left that office, I got to go. I told Brother Skip as soon as I got back to the office. And Skip had already told me that something like this could happen because he had already had his tensions as well. I said, no, I got to go. I can't be on the plantation like this. Everybody got to deal with some kind of plantation. But when you can't in any way be free, you got to go. You got to break no matter what the plantation is. It could be a political party. It could be on your job. It could be in your institutional network or whatever. Don't get locked into any form of bondage. And I was gone. Thank God Princeton was still open to me. So I'm not surprised at all when I read that about neoliberal gangster Summers, man. And I pray for him and his family.
Yeah. This taken together, I want to just tie these things together in the 2 minutes I have left here. They're separate issues, but taken together, you've got two, notables, two stalwarts within the Democratic Party. Larry Summers, of course, president of Harvard at one point, the Treasury Secretary at one point. So these are two well-known quantities in this country. But both in the Democratic Party, both on the left, and we don't want to be all the rest of us don't want to be judged by them. But this is not a good day for folk on the left when you look at the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy is cannot be overstated, Doc.
That's true, but we've got to be honest about this, too.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why Summers was not exposed, remember, he went on to say that women had less intelligence than men.
That's right.
And that's one of the things that pushed him out. He got voted no confidence. But it was also Brother Obama who asked Summers to be head of his economic team, who asked Summers to be head of the Economic Council of Advisors, who asked Summers to be secretary of Obama to a gangster like that and not deserve the kind of criticism you and I and others given to him. He knew who he was dealing with. He incorporated him anyway. Now the New York Times incorporates him. He's contributing opinion to the New York Times, given his neoliberal gangsterism. What are we talking about here? Can you imagine a black man saying 1/10 of what he said and still being invited into the White House, invited to work for the New York Times? Please. We see the hypocrisy of the institution, the liberal institution, the neoliberal institutions that keep him going.
Yeah. What Doc is saying here, and again, we don't engage in revenge politics. This is not about vengeance. We aren't the Lord. That belongs to him. But we do believe in connecting the dots for you. That's our role here.
Telling the truth.
Telling the truth, and that's more accurate. We try to tell the truth, and we ain't got no monopoly on the truth. We understand there is the truth, and there's the way to the truth. We get that. So we ain't got no monopoly on the truth, but we tell the truth that we know and let you connect the dots. So what Dr. West is saying here is that everything that we know about Summers, Obama knew about Summers. His disrespect of black women and their IQ, and yet you still invite him to be not just on the team, the leader of the team when it comes to economic policy. So, again, time goes on, and y'all see these things more clearly. We were trying to say this back then. Love, it ain't that we hated him, we just love y'all. And when you love people, you tell them the truth. I'll leave it there. We holding on, Doc. We holding on. We holding on.
No.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
This is getting good. Yeah, man. Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward.
Hard rock style is coming to the Central Valley, just 15 miles south of Bakersfield off Route 99. You'll find world-class gaming and entertainment. Less drive time equals more playtime. The all-new Hard Rock Casino Tejon, opening November 13th.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a rough night Wednesday for both the LA NBA teams. The Lakers were in Oklahoma City and got crushed.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the voice of reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's...
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the voice of reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Yeah, yo, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
As we go a little something like this.
Hey, it is me, D.L. Hughley, and I am thrilled to be heard weekdays in my hometown on KBLA Talk 1580. So check out the D.L. Hughley Afternoon.
Coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
KBLA Talk 1580, standing with you in perilous times. If you've been impacted by the federal government shutdown or the discontinuation of SNAP benefits, you can find a food bank near you that's offering free groceries by going to lafoodbank.org or call 211. Additionally, LA County offers free meals at certain parks. There are meals and snacks for kids and seniors. Visit parks.lacounty.gov to find out which centers are offering which programs and to register in advance. And in addition to offering 2 free meals per day for all students, the LA Unified School District provides weekend meal kits for its students by request. The meal kits can be picked up on Fridays at grab-and-go locations. Please visit lausd.org/Cafe LA. That's lausd.org/CAFELA. We keep us safe. We keep us provided for. We keep us connected. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
Following that spirited conversation with Dr. West, we move now to the bottom half of this hour with 2 special guests who join us in studio. By the way, Dr. West is here every Monday and Thursday at the top of the second hour. And in this back half, pleased to have 2, again, special guests in studio, Josh Paul and Tariq Habash, co-founders of an organization called A New Policy. Josh and Tariq resigned as members of the Biden-Harris administration in protest of President Biden's policy toward Gaza. So their courage, their conviction, their commitment, and their character is on full display for all of us to see. and to revel in. Before I commence my dialogue with them, in case you didn't hear this clip, I want to make sure that they hear it and that you hear it, and we'll jump straight into the conversation. So Kamala Harris is still on book tour. She showed up in Seattle the other day, and this, a year or so after being out of office, after campaigning, after not allowing a single Palestinian voice at the podium at the Democratic Convention, after, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now she shows up in Seattle and has this to say.
We should have spoken publicly about our criticism of the way that Netanyahu and his government were executing this war. We should have done more as an administration. We had more leverage, and I write about this in a book. I look at this moment, and I am happy that there is a ceasefire. We will see how long it lasts, that the hostages have been returned, but let's be very clear. Inhuman nature of what has happened to the Palestinian people in Gaza, the innocent civilians, the extent of hunger, famine, suffering, death, is something that we must acknowledge. And I recognize that.
I mean, she's eloquent. She's eloquent in her understanding of the issue now, Josh, Paul. Welcome to our studios. How do you hear that commentary?
Thank you, Tavis, for having us on. You know, it's 2 years too late. This is things that she knew at the time, could have said, was in a position to impact. And it's not just her credibility. It's, as Dr. West was pointing out, the credibility of the entire Democratic Party. You cannot turn that on a dime, and you cannot just change that by speaking now about what you should have done. You have to show a willingness to drive change, and that's what we need to see, and frankly have yet to see from the Democratic Party leadership.
Tariq, how'd you hear it?
Listen, you can't just pretend like we're just learning this stuff now. Every single day we are hearing about different instances where our own government, our leaders, knew about the level of complicity and the war crimes that were being committed with our tax dollars. We know that Joe Biden from the beginning was going to be ideologically predisposed to essentially hugging Benjamin Netanyahu, hugging the Israeli government, providing this level of unconditional support.
In reality, He
literally did it.
Yeah.
So you can say, oh, okay, this is just a Joe Biden thing, but it wasn't just a Joe Biden thing, because Kamala Harris had a huge role in the administration, and she became the Democratic nominee. It wasn't just Joe Biden. You were the face of the Democratic Party. You were the one that was supposed to protect Americans who were vulnerable from the authoritarian attacks of this now Trump administration 2.0. And you didn't do enough. And the reason you didn't do enough is because you could not align your values on an issue as important as preventing genocide.
And what do you make of the fact that when she did get the baton, and she does, to your point, Tariq, become the nominee, she does that interview where she says, I can't think of anything on which I disagree with Joe Biden.
It's an utter failure.
Yeah.
Whether or not that is actually true, I can't imagine that anyone is put in a position where they are auditioning for the most powerful position in the world and says, yeah, I agree with 100% of what my predecessor does. Josh and I have been working together for a couple years now. We don't always agree on everything, and that's okay. But like, you are telling the entire world, you are telling the voters who are clearly frustrated, not just because of Gaza, but especially because of Gaza, but also rising costs, the failure of our healthcare system. There are so many things that people are frustrated with, and you can't speak to any of them. You can't say anything could be better.
Yeah.
That's a failure of leadership. That's a failure of creative thinking. There is an opportunity for Democrats to actually stand up and say, like, hey, we want to work for the American people. And she didn't do that, and the Democratic Party continues not to do that.
I'll do one better than your friendship with Josh. My mama and I don't agree on everything. My mother calls me routinely after this show and says, I didn't agree with that. You said so-and-so. Okay, Mom. Okay, we have a little conversation. We hang up. If my mom and I don't agree on everything, there's no way in the world that I'm a nominee with the baton, and I can't separate myself at all from anything that your presidency brought to the fore. But I digress on that. I want to just spend some time, just a couple seconds here. Josh, tell me and tell the audience what role you occupied in the Biden-Harris administration and why you stepped away. Then I'll ask Tariq the same question.
Yeah, so I was working in the U.S. State Department in something called Political Military Affairs, which is the part of the U.S. government that's responsible for security assistance and weapon sales, essentially, around the world. I resigned October 18th of 2023 because 3,500 Palestinians had already been killed in the last 10 days by American weapons that we, as taxpayers, are paying for. And yet there was no willingness within the administration to pause, to think about what we were doing, to debate the policies. And American laws were and continue to be broken in the provision of those weapons, and I refuse to be a part of it.
And Tariq, you were where?
I was at the Department of Education. Unlike Josh, I wasn't a civil servant. I was actually a political appointee. I worked at the pleasure of the president. I was Joe Biden's guy for all things long-term education policy, higher education, student debt. That was me. And so I advised the campaign prior to joining the administration. And, you know, you might think like, oh, why are you resigning? You were working on education, but you could already see the tensions on college campuses, the silencing and the repression long before the encampments. And there was, again, an unwillingness to debate how we actually protect students, how we keep them safe. In the aftermath of a 6-year-old child getting stabbed in his home in Chicago, the aftermath of college kids on holiday over Thanksgiving break getting gunned down in the streets because they're speaking Arabic and wearing keffiyehs. The administration did not do nearly enough, and there was no way that I could continue to represent an administration and work on the policies that were contributing to those harms.
Let me ask you both. I'll start with you, Tariq. What is it that Biden and Harris could have done then in real time that might not have made you feel so ashamed of this administration asked to leave it? What in retrospect, you hear Kamala saying what they could have done, all the levers they had access to. What could they have done then, Tariq, that might not have made you leave that administration ashamed of the way they were showing up with regard to the Middle East crisis?
Plain and simple, value Palestinian lives. And the way that you do that is if you are the president of the rule of law, if you want to actually be a president for all Americans, that means you enforce U.S. law equitably when it comes to how we are handling our relationship with our closest ally in the region. It means that when there are college kids that are feeling unsafe, that you are treating them equally regardless of what their identity is. We were not doing that.
Yeah. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, I think Tariq nailed it. I would just say more broadly, put the interest of America and of Americans first. The Biden administration fundamentally failed to do that. It put Netanyahu's interest, it put Israel's desires above our own laws, above the safety of our own citizens, and above our international and global leadership. And we are going to be paying the price for that in this administration and for many years to come.
No naivete here, Josh. I see you, Tariq. 1 second. No naivete here, but why? So has president after president, Joe Biden, of course, being the most recent predecessor to Donald Trump, why have we so acquiesced, as it were, when it comes to letting Israel's issues then become our issues?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that question, Tavis, because at the core, that's why Tariq and I founded a new policy, because what we have here isn't actually a policy problem. Here is politicians who are too craven, too afraid, too lacking in spine to stand up for what most of them know to be right. We need to fix that political balance by bringing to bear the power of votes and, in our system, the power of money and also the power of coalitions. This isn't just an issue that affects Palestinian Americans or Arab Americans or Muslim Americans. There are consequences here for all of us as we pay billions of dollars in taxes to Israel, as we see our own civil rights and freedoms trampled upon. And so that's the sort of thing that we are doing through a new policy to fix this problem.
I'm sort of laughing on the inside because Tariq really is an education guy. This is radio. People are watching right now, but for those who can't see us, as Tariq waves to the camera, for those who can't see us, he really is an education guy because he wanted to say something and he raised his hand like he's in a classroom. Tariq, I see your hand raised, and when we come forward, sir, I will let you express yourself. You are listening to Josh, Paul, and Tariq Habash on Tavis Smiley.
Generous listening. Charitable listening. It's why everybody wants to talk to Tavis. The conversation continues when we come forward.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So, I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
And you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement. Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Made fresh daily in the Mert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley, Josh Paul, and Tariq Habash, who are the co-founders of an organization called A New Policy. They both resigned their positions in the Biden-Harris. I tried to combine those two names. They both resigned their positions in the Biden-Harris administration over Joe Biden's policy on Gaza. Tariq, Mr. Habash, you had your hand up, sir, a moment ago. I recognize you.
Look, I think at the time Josh was talking about how, the policies are actually not good for Americans. Mm-hmm. I'd even go further than that. We know they're bad for Palestinians. It's bad for Israelis that we have not tried to use any single piece of leverage to prevent what their government is doing. We have seen the Israeli government shift really drastically to this authoritarian far-right regime that is not actually going to work in the Israeli citizenry's interest in the long run either. So if we're talking about this from what is good for everyone, particularly for Americans, for Palestinians, for Israelis, what's happening is bad, period, plain and simple.
Let me read a comment right quick from one of our listeners. Fahima Sek is the name. Tavis, I'm disappointed that you aren't aware of this. I respect you, but you are wrong, sir. Should she have said more? Yes. But she did speak out on it when presented with the opportunity. Harris wasn't the president. During her March 3, 2024 speech in Selma, Alabama, commemorating the 59th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, Vice President Kamala Harris delivered the most forceful call at the time for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Quote, people in Gaza are starving, the conditions are inhumane, and our common humanity compels us to act, close quote. Yes, I'm aware. I'm sorry, Fahima, that I disappointed you. I am aware of that speech, but I suspect that what Josh and Tariq are about to tell you is exactly what I would say. So when they finish, I'll just say amen. But Tariq, why don't you respond to this comment for me, sir?
I mean, yeah, she wasn't the president. She was the vice president of the United States. And I think it comes to a point where you can continuously call for a ceasefire, but if you keep sending the weapons, if you keep doing everything the same, if you continue not willing to use any real leverage to make a ceasefire happening, do those calls mean anything? And yeah, maybe you can't really speak out and get out in front of the president, but I sure as hell did.
And the thing is that it's what the Bible calls sounding brass and tinkling cymbal. It's just hollow. You can call for ceasefires all day long. One, that's the least you can do. That is the minimum, number one, a ceasefire. But to Tariq's point, if you ain't changing your policy, it don't really mean nothing. But Josh, how would you add to that?
No, I agree. When you continue to send the weapons, when you continue to defend Israel and vote against ceasefire, I mean, calling for a ceasefire, but then voting against ceasefires at the United Nations, as the Biden-Harris administration continued to do even after she made that comment, just makes a mockery of the comment itself. It just demonstrates that there's no credibility or seriousness to it.
Yep. So for the record, let it be stated that I don't just read comments that are in agreement. Our remaining moments with Josh, Paul, and Tariq Habash. We'll talk more expressly about a new policy and the work that they're doing. You heard Dr. West and I talking earlier this hour about the way that, and I said earlier, I don't even want to use the word pivot. It's not the American people are pivoting on this. There's a wholesale shift in how we're reading this drama in the Middle East. We'll let them unpack why they're doing the work at a new policy and how that reality impacts the work and witness that they are engaged in. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Why does Tavis say, when we come forward? Because he's not going back. And you don't have to go back either. Forward ever, backward never. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right, yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, on low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right, yeah. Breathe happy Febreze.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with
Yield it to Josh and Tariq to say more about this organization, A New Policy.
So, like Josh said, we're here to tackle the real problem. The real problem is politics. The real problem is the fact that elected officials in Washington, D.C. are not willing to actually align with their communities that are putting them in office. They're prioritizing special interests. In a lot of cases, those are corporations. In the issue of Gaza and the issue of U.S. policy towards Palestine and Israel, it's the Israel First lobby. And if that is a problem for millions of Americans, as every single poll over the last 2 years has shown, then we need a solution to that. A new policy is that solution.
Speaking of lobby, how do you compete with AIPAC?
We're on the Hill every day. We are lobbying and we're talking with members of Congress. We're providing them a roadmap to understand why providing unconditional support to Israel is actually bad for America and bad for Americans. And we're building that credibility. We have years, decades of experience just between the two of us, and we have a team of people who are working tirelessly to build the infrastructure so that millions of Americans can be part of this solution. If AIPAC has 5 million members, A New Policy can easily get to 10, 20, 30 million members because that's how much Americans care about this issue today.
A New Policy is the name of the organization, but it's more than just a name, Josh. What does A New Policy actually look like?
Yeah, so we are an organization that is a lobbying organization, advocacy, building a network across the country. But in American politics, you also got to bring the money. So we also have a political action committee that supports candidates for office who are going to change the status quo, that are going to do better for America, and also support incumbents when they're willing to change. And I'll tell you a secret. As much as many of your listeners will hate what Israel is doing to the Palestinians, there are a lot of members of Congress who I've spoken to who get money from AIPAC who actually hate working with AIPAC. They bully them. They push them, they are just unpleasant to interact with, and they are looking for an off-ramp. We are here to provide that off-ramp.
Is it possible in the years to come that A New Policy can do the kind of work that will prevent what happened to Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman from happening to anybody else?
Yes, and we're doing that work right now, actually.
Yeah. Their names are Josh Paul and Tariq Habash. They are the co-founders of an organization called A New Policy. What's the name of the PAC?
A New Policy PAC, but you can find them both at anewpolicy.org.
anewpolicy.org. anewpolicy.org is where you find information about the organization. I got 45 seconds here left. I assume you sense the shift that I referenced earlier. The takeaway, the result from that shift with regard to your work is what exactly?
The takeaway is that it is time for us to build real power. It is time for millions of people to be part of the solution. And so we are here in LA. We are traveling all over the country speaking to millions of Americans who truly care about this issue. And if you want to be part of that solution, you can join us by going to act.anewpolicy.org/membership. Become a member of A New Policy. Join us in this fight to take back American politics, to actually work for our communities and to align with our values.
Josh Paul and Tariq Habash, co-founders of A New Policy. Delighted to have you both on the program. Thanks for coming in studio while you're in L.A.
Thank you so much,
Tavis.
My pleasure. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
November 13th.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a rough night Wednesday for both of LA's NBA teams. The Lakers were in Oklahoma City and got crushed. The defending NBA champs beat the Lakers by 29, 121-92. 30 points and 9 assists for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Lakers had 20 turnovers. At the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic scored 25 points in the first quarter against the Clippers en route to a 55-point performance. The Clippers have lost 6 straight after going down 130-116. LeBron practiced for the first time this season on Wednesday. He participated in 5-on-5 scrimmages with the Lakers G League team, the South Bay Lakers. LeBron has been sidelined with a sciatic nerve condition in his lower back and left leg. The Lakers are planning to give him some playing time on Sunday in South Bay's next game against the Rip City Remix, the Portland Trailblazers G League affiliate. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33 and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yay, yay! KBLA Talk 1580, standing with you in perilous times. If you've been impacted by the federal government shutdown or the discontinuation of SNAP benefits, you can find a food bank near you that's offering free groceries by going to lafoodbank.org or call 211. Additionally, LA County offers free meals at certain